Which Windows design was the most iconic? First, we've got the beveled glory of Windows 95. Not the very first Windows version by a long shot, but the first that paid any real attention to how Windows should look. These metallic borders were designed to give Windows a more 3D look, as opposed to the flat and basic UI of Win 3.1 and earlier. The design document for Win95 said it needed to look fun, interesting and sexy, which I guess you be the judge. The next major design overhaul was in Windows XP, with its Luna design language drawing inspiration from the layered, tactile UI elements that were becoming popular elsewhere, and as a reaction to macOS's Aqua. Though some would say it looked childish, it was an acknowledgement that in the early 2000s, PCs weren't just for stuffy back offices anymore. There were 3 colour themes to choose from if the default blue and green didn't float your boat, or you could just go back to the good old Windows Classic. Windows Vista and Windows 7 gave us Aero with its translucent surfaces, glowy illuminated buttons, and 3D effects. It was more graphically intensive, requiring a pretty beefy GPU by 2006 standards to be able to pull off its various pixel shader effects. If you didn't, you'd have to make do with the Windows Vista basic theme, which was a bit of a downer. A lot of people feel pretty nostalgic for the old Aero look today, possibly because it was followed by Windows 8 and its Metro UI, which looked great on Windows Phone but less so on a desktop, where Microsoft got rid of the dedicated start button and really leaned way too much into touchscreen style interfaces, despite most PCs still being traditional keyboard and mouse based affairs. Microsoft eventually brought back the start menu proper in Windows 8.1, but that wasn't enough to save its reputation. Windows 10 kicked off the era of Microsoft modern design language in 2015, still very flat and angular like Windows 8 and with a Metro style start menu. But otherwise, Microsoft was starting to lean back towards traditional desktop design for the desktop. And this was expanded further in Windows 11 with its fluent design language, with more rounded corners all over the place, new typography, and very subtle translucent shaded effects. So let us know what you think in the comments.